afternoon, judges and ladies and gentlemen. We are the exchange students from Indonesia, and today we'd like to introduce you a little bit about Indonesia and our cultures. So before we start, we would like to introduce myself and my fellow teammates who will do the presentation today. My name is Tiana, the next is Novita and Irencia. So we give you wonderful Indonesia. So before we start, can anybody in this room help me point out where is Indonesia on the map? Yes, please, where?
Right there.
This is the big map, where? Here?
No.
Here?
Yeah.
Please give her an applause. So Indonesia is located on the Southeast Asia. Indonesia has 5 big islands. It has Sumatra, Kalimantan, Java, Sulawesi, and Papua. But since most people know Bali as well, so we decided to point out where Bali is. Indonesia is the 4th most populated country in the world, with 263 million people. We also have 13,500 islands. Indonesia is also known for its diversity in people. We have 700 languages and dialects with 300 native ethnic groups. So the first topic that we'd like to introduce you is about our dances. Indonesia actually have 1,000 varieties of traditional dances, but for example, the perang dance, or in English we can call it the war dance, and then barong dance, jaipong dance, piring dance or the plate dance, kecak dance, and saman dance. But if we have to point it out, we think the most famous dance of all is barong dance. If we can see, barong dance main point is actually the mask. It represents the ruler of the unseen world. For Bali people, this dance is the sacred ritual. They believe that this dance will help to cast the evil spirits away. Next. The next topic is our clothes. So as you can see, we are all wearing different clothes, but actually this is our traditional clothes. So the first clothes that I like to introduce you is, this is the kebaya Solo, and what I'm wearing is kebaya Kutu Baru. This is both is selected as the Indonesian national costume. So when we graduate, the girls have to wear this kind of clothes. The next is, this is called Sape Sapa. This is a traditional clothes from Dayak ethnics or in Kalimantan. This is the Papua. This is called Rumbai, and this is actually a dried sago leaves. Actually, not all people in Papua wear this, but maybe back then they wear this in their daily life. So, next. Sorry for the technical mistakes. And yeah, next. So what you are seeing here is called batik. This is actually one of the most famous traditional clothes in Indonesia. Most people, if they go overseas, they will use this to introduce Indonesia. So this is called the Javanese batik. And this is the batik from Kalimantan. They wear this to represent their love in nature and their beliefs in religion. So the last two is, this is still batik, but as you can see, this is the modern kind to use batik, not in what I'm wearing, sarong, but this is the modern dress way to wear it. Okay, next. And to design the batik, we draw it by dots and line with these things called canting. The next topic will be, The next topic will be presented by my friend Novita.
Now let me introduce you about Indonesian cuisine. We have nasi padang, lodeh, es cendol, nasi tumpeng, satay, and martabak manis. Actually, Indonesian cuisine is more flavor than Taiwan food. I mean, Indonesian cuisine tastes saltier, spicier and sweeter. And this slide is introducing our traditional ethnic. As what my friend had explained before, Indonesia has around 300 native ethnics, but now I will only introduce our 6 famous ethnics in Indonesia. We have Asmat, Betawi, Sasak, Batak, Dayak, and Tionghoa. Tionghoa in English is called Chinese. It is Indonesian people actually, but descended from various of Chinese ethnic. But primarily they are descended from Han Chinese. And most of you may think that all of Indonesian people doesn't eat pork, right? But it's totally wrong. The truth is only Muslim doesn't eat pork. And 87% of Indonesian people are Muslim, so it's a little bit hard to find pork in Indonesia. Next. Next is traditional games. Actually, Indonesia has so many traditional games that make children have to thinking, have to moving around, so they don't just have to stay in the house and do nothing. The traditional games first is congklak, ular naga, enggrang, engklek, gasing, and gatrek. And the next slide is will be represented by my friend Irene. Thank you.
Now I'll be the one who explain about most Indonesian music instrument. As you can see here, we have a lot of instruments like gong, gamelan, serunai, angklung, kolintang, and sasando. They all sounds really good. Next. As you can see in the picture here, we have a lot of famous tourist attraction places in Indonesia. But if you all have never been to Indonesia, we'd recommend you to visit Bali. Because Bali is famous for its diving and surfing experience. Now we'd like to show you a 3-minute video about Indonesia.
Trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think.
So that was Indonesia. Now, last week on April 21st, Indonesia celebrated Kartini's Day. And today, on this opportunity, we'd like to play angklung for her. Thank you. the end of our presentation. Thank you all for your attention and terima kasih. Terima kasih.
我们有请那个管院院长颁奖。
谢谢他们所带来的表演。下来是由富华中学印外科同学所带来的展演，掌声欢迎他们。